Hey, Perry Jeffries here with another episode of Profitology, following up on continuing our series, the COVID-19 Survival Kit series. So, hey, welcome. If you haven't joined us in the past, this podcast is Profitology, where we discuss how to create profit, not only in your business, but also in your life. Knowing that those two go hand in hand, your health is your wealth and vice versa. And we've been doing a series called the COVID-19 Survival Kit series where we speak on a multitude of different topics, personal growth, how to navigate the stimulus plan, having a financial plan, finances, entrepreneurship, relationships, health, mental health. So thank you for joining us. If you haven't joined us in the past, hopefully we're looking forward to have you join us in the future, and we know you'll get some value out of this one. So with this particular episode, I want to have an open forum just for discussion. A lot of things going on, and people have some concerns that we all share, but also two individuals have some concerns that maybe are specific to them. But nonetheless, we need to have that open forum just to, get some stuff out on the table, get some direction, get some clarity, get some peace of mind during this crisis time. So what I decided to do is just have an open discussion. But in the meantime, I'm going to talk about the importance of having a support system. And I think during this time, it's more evident that you have to have a support system. So let's define what support system is. In the meantime, viewers who are watching this live, feel free to type in any questions or anything that you want to discuss in the comments. We'll be sure to circle back and answer some of those things. So what I wanted to first address was the importance of having a support system. If you're trying to weather this storm on your own without a support system, I pray for you, because this is hard. This is hard even with the best of support systems. But what is really unveiling to me is how important having a support system is, right? And because we have this new social distancing in a quarantine, you have to be super intentional about identify those individuals who can help support you through this, or more importantly, who you can be a support to. So let's start off with just defining support system. So looked up here, the definition of support that I found was to promote the interest or cause of. Simple. Hey, to support the interest or cause of. So we're all going through a crisis, and we need to promote the interest and the cause of getting through this crisis, because we're all going through this together. Never in my lifetime, or maybe in my children's lifetime, will they ever see a scenario that has impacted the entire world the way this COVID-19 crisis has, this pandemic. The next definition we have is systems, a regularly interacting or interdependent group of items forming a unified whole. All right, so we have support and we have systems. So when we put these two together, to promote the interests or cause of through a regularly scheduled interacting or independent group of items forming a unified whole. So let that sink in for a second. So a lot of times we think about support like, oh, my mom supports me, my children supports me, my wife support me, my clients support me, right? But a support system isn't just a one-off, hey, do you need anything, let me know. A system is a regularly interacting or interdependent group of, instead of items, we'll substitute people, group of people forming a unified whole. Let that sink in. So when we break down system, regularly interacting, a scheduled time to meet with people. This is super important right now, because right now we're being pulled in so many different directions, trying to figure out who we need to listen to, what applications we need to submit to try to get funding, looking at our budget, right? You're all over the place. Having a regularly scheduled interaction of individuals in a group forming a unified whole, because we need to get through this together. The sooner you get your head wrapped around that, the better off you're going to be getting us together. So I thought this was just huge, just to break down the definition. So to support, right, promote the interest of or cause of, but systems, a regularly interacting or independent group of items forming a unified whole. So I would highly recommend that you go out and find a support system or create one on your own. I believe I was talking to my team this morning, and that's something that we're going to do. and start putting together mastermind groups of 10 individuals, just so those individuals can have that support system on a regular basis. Because you just don't need a one-off. You just don't need a, hey, bro, if you need some help, I got you. Or, hey, sis. No, it needs to be something regularly scheduled because it's super important. That's how system, that's the definition of system, right? So a couple of notes I found here, which are really cool. I was doing some research on it this morning. Here are some helpful tips. Helpful tips. One, review your current family and friends. Evaluate who may be helpful. Now, sounds kind of weird and kind of self-serving, but I highly recommend that you do it. Let's identify family and friends who can assist, or you can be an asset to and help them get through something, right? So maybe you're reaching out to, maybe you're trying to figure out where to take your business, but you have a friend who's good with finances. You have a friend who's good with marketing. You have right? You know what I'm saying? You happen to be good at systems. Why don't y'all get together and form a regularly scheduled group meeting via Zoom call or something like this, where you get a chance to, one, to connect with each other, to put eyes on each other and make sure you're okay, but also to formulate, different ideas and action steps to move forward with this whole piece. Something that my family here started doing for the last 3 weeks. We've scheduled a investment call between the three families, right? The in-laws and what have you. So 3 families on there. Every Sunday, we've met to discuss how we were thinking about investing in a particular market so we can create our vacation fund. It sounds corny, but guess what? It's really cool because it's on the schedule. It's regular. We get a chance to put eyes on each other and just make sure everybody is okay, right? And it's something that we're doing together while we're going through this crisis together. So we're already going through something together, this crisis. How about use this crisis as an opportunity to go through something positive with your family and friends? So just an idea for you, right? So 1, review your current family and friends, evaluate who may be helpful. 2, tip 2, trying new activities to expose yourself to different people. So you're limited right now on where you can go, right? But there are plenty of groups on Facebook. There's plenty of groups on, LinkedIn, right? There's other groups that are now taking their networking model and bringing it virtual so everybody can participate, right? Find some groups and start interacting with people you maybe have not interacted with, right? Because if you're interacting with the same people all the time, at some point in time, you're going to stagnate your growth. So to continue to grow during this crisis, use this as an opportunity to get plugged into different groups of people, right? 3, join a book club. If you can't find a book club, create one. I did this with a couple buddies of mine when we a couple years ago when I was looking to really scale my business, and we were reading the book 6 Months to Six Figures. Big shout out to Peter Voog, a friend of ours, author of 6 Months to Six Figures, right? And that book was awesome. Every week we scheduled a time where everybody read their chapters and everybody had to come and report on their chapters. So it forced us to grow. It added that level of accountability, and it was on the calendar. And if you missed a meeting or you didn't have your report, you got chewed out by the team like, yo, where's your information? And oddly enough, many of us in that group were able to actually go to 6 figures in 6 months. Phenomenal way to just, again, support system. 4, let important people in your life know that you appreciate them. I've been seeing this with my group of friends and family, folks just reaching out. Hey, bro, just checking in on you. Hey, fam. Hey, how are you doing? Hey, sis, you need anything? Dropping off food to our parents. My sister, cooking up stuff and dropping food over to us. Just continue to interact with each other and let people know that you love them and you care about them. So this is an opportune time to do that. And again, you talk about support system, maybe scheduling a time for your family just to do a Zoom call like this where you all can see each other and just say, hey, you need anything? How you doing? Crack some jokes, have a laugh. That goes a long way during this time. Last one here. 5, be willing to ask for help, y'all. This is not the time to be so cocky or arrogant that you don't need help. That's a lie. We all need some help during this time. And what better way to get that from some type of support system or something along those lines? But if you need help, raise your hand and be like, yo, I need help. Because guess what? I'm even going to do this. If I have, 4 or 5, 6 people say, hey, we all need help in this particular space, I'm going to create a group a mastermind group for those individuals so that they can have that resource, to come to on a regularly scheduled basis where they have that support that they need on that particular issue. So if you have an issue that you have here, please put that in the comments, because I'll be happy to create a support group around that whole piece, because we need it. We all do. All right, so that's what I had, y'all. So let me jump in here. I said this is going to be an open forum. Let me see if we have any comments or anything that we need to jump in here to address. Consistency is key. Gotcha. Perfect. This is good. One person said, this is exactly what I went over for my company over the weekend. What do I need to offer to the people around me to add value, whether business or personal? Outstanding. Okay. And then I want to share this as well. This one really struck home for me. It's a comment that one of our clients posted. I recently asked a question on one of our thought of the day. What are the most valuable lessons we are learning during this crisis? And this is what they put. I thought it was absolutely phenomenal. Sylvia put this: the things we've been forced to do because our backs were against the wall. We could have been doing. We could have done a budget. We could have been helping each other stay afloat. We could have been homeschooling our kids to cut down on tuition. You know your kids' learning style better than anyone. We could have deferred house payments to the back of their mortgages if they were in dire need. We could have given loans to small businesses so they wouldn't go out of business. We could have deferred payments for utilities for someone who has lost their job. We could have been saying we love each other as often as we do now. We could have been doing this. It just took a crisis to see what we were capable of. I hate to say this, but for most of the world, fear and pain is the greatest motivator. May we forever be changed by this. May we all see the need for a rainy day fund. May we always keep a financial plan, and may we always pray and depend on God the way we do now. There's nothing else to say after that, y'all. I mean, so again, and I had decided to speak on this topic of having a support system prior to reading that. And after I read that, I said, oh, this is just an opportune time to share this. If that didn't hit home, I don't know what will hit home. So appreciate you, Sylvia, for sharing that and dropping the mic on us. That was very valuable, and our audience definitely appreciates that. So before we get off here, let me see if there's any other questions. Any questions that people need us to address for them? Nope, we are good. So again, this is a short segment of Profitology, but I think an important one. So your action item today is find a support system. Ask questions. If you're in a group of individuals going through the same thing, how about y'all form a support group and set a day and a time that you connect for an hour, for a half an hour, 45 minutes, whatever the case may be. If you're a group of entrepreneurs, maybe, discussing a book that you can cover. Family, putting that time on the calendar. We're saying, hey, this is going to be our family time, just to connect with family, make sure everybody's okay. But look at identifying your support systems, because we need them right now. And if you need help creating one, let us know. As always, you can go to perryjeffries.com/free resources, just for some of our free resources. If you need to schedule a strategy call with us to figure out how to navigate this storm, if you're an entrepreneur or you just need some guidance on the financial planning side, we have resources there for you. And continue to share this information, right? So it's not always about the numbers and the figures and the finance and the investments. A lot of time it's really about the the core, the person, the spirit, the being, our relationships, our family. So identify some support systems. Let us know how we can help in any way. We're probably going to be creating some mastermind groups here just for that. We'll keep you guys posted on that stuff. And feel free to reach out to us if you need any help. All right, Perry Jeffries here, another episode of Profitology in the Books. Talk to you soon. Peace.